Hi there, Mark Jamin here, Medical Director for the Haywood County Health Department. And let's talk about this pandemic. Yet another episode in our series of Why Even Consider Vaccination. And in today's video, the top 10 reasons a person chooses not to wear a seatbelt. And what does that have to do with vaccines? Well, let's see. So number 10, the airbag will save me. Well, truth is, airbags add a layer of protection, but are not enough on their own. Number 9, you don't need to wear a seatbelt if you're in the back seat. Well, studies for the model years 2000 to 2006, an unbelted rear seat passenger had an 11 times higher risk of serious injury. And so that was quite a while ago. And if cars are 50% better now at protecting passengers, there's still a 5 times more risk. Number 8, I'm pregnant, so I shouldn't wear a seatbelt. Well, wearing a seatbelt reduces the risk of adverse fetal outcome by 84% in some studies. The best way to protect the fetus is by protecting the mother, and the best way to protect the mother is by wearing a seatbelt. Number 7, I don't want to get tangled in the seatbelt or trapped in the car. It's better to be thrown from the vehicle in a collision. Well, the National Highway Traffic Safety Board found that unbelted occupants were nearly 18 times more likely to be ejected, and the risk of fatality 2.3 times that of those who are not ejected. Number 6, wearing a seatbelt is not comfortable. Well, so is being thrown through a windshield. Number 5, I'm not going fast enough to get injured. Have you ever watched an unbelted test dummy at 20 miles an hour? The head crashes into the windshield, chest slams into the wheel. Belted dummy has none of that impact. Number 4, seatbelts cause injuries. In collisions where a person dies, the chances of an unbelted occupant dying is nearly twice that of someone belted. In moderate to severe collisions, seatbelts can cause bruising of the chest and abdominal injuries. So yes, you may still be injured by the seatbelt, but your injuries will be much less. Number 3, I'm a great driver, I won't crash. Well, maybe you won't cause the collision, but someone else might. And number 2, I'm not going far enough to get into a collision. The majority of traffic collisions occur within a few kilometers of home, likely because that is where we spend the majority of our time driving. 52% of reported crashes occurred within only 5 miles of home. And number 1, it's my life, I can do whatever I want. For all types of collisions, belted occupants had a 90% increased risk of injury when exposed to an unbelted passenger thrown around the vehicle, and with a nearly 5 times greater risk of death. Here's the bottom line. If you don't want to buckle up yourself, do it for your fellow passengers. Don't let your risky choices harm them. Now, I hope you can see the parallels with what some are saying about COVID vaccines. It's not that vaccines don't have risk, it's that COVID has risk too. And not just death or short-term illness, but the risk of symptoms that don't go away for weeks or months. Wearing a seatbelt has risk, but driving has risk too. Driving gets you something you want, so why not wear a seatbelt and lessen the risk? The COVID vaccine has risk, but getting COVID has risk too. Being fully vaccinated is a real benefit. It gets you something you want, which is to be able to gather safely together again. So why not get vaccinated and lessen the risk? So be well and be careful, especially right now.